Hello and welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're going to be continuing with the rest of the Unit 12. In the previous class, we were talking about the past continuous versus the simple past and how to use it. And we were seeing different stories of coincidences, bad things that happen, things with good luck, bad luck. But today we're going to be talking about, discussing recent activities. Okay, so let's jump right into the class. We're going to be starting with this conversation. What have you been doing? And this is completely related to the grammar that we're going to be seeing today. No? Present perfect continuous. That's what we are having here. What have you been doing? Okay? So let's start by listening to this and paying attention. And then we're going to be listening to part B and answering this question. What has happened since they last saw each other? Okay? So let's listen.
Page 81. Exercise 7. Conversation. What have you been doing? Part A. Listen and practice.
Hey, Louisa. I haven't seen you in ages. What have you been doing lately?
I haven't been going out much. I've been working 2 jobs for the last 6 months.
How come?
I'm saving up money for a trip to Morocco.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. What about you?
Well, I've only been spending money. I've been trying to become an actor. I've been taking courses and going to a lot of auditions.
Really? How long have you been trying?
Since I graduated. But I haven't had any luck yet. No one recognizes my talent.
Page 81. Exercise 7. Part B. Listen to 2 other people at the party. What has happened since they last saw each other?
Hey Bob, how's it going?
Pretty good, thanks.
I haven't seen you for a while. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been looking for a house to buy. I finally found one last month.
That's terrific.
Yeah, I'm really tired of renting. So what have you been doing lately?
Well, I went to Italy last month.
Really? What were you doing there?
I was taking a short Italian course. But guess what? I fell in love.
You did? Who's the lucky guy?
Actually, I fell in love with the food there. So I've been taking some classes in Italian cooking. That pizza you're eating? I made it.
Okay, very good. Did you get the answer for this question? If not, remember you can listen again. But, okay, let's check. Well, what has happened since they last saw each other? Well, the man has been looking for a house to buy and finally found one last month. The woman went to Italy last month. She has been taking some classes in Italian cooking. Hmm. She has been taking some classes in Italian cooking. This is completely related to the grammar that we're gonna be seeing today. But before going to that, don't you see, or don't you think that she looks like Angelina Jolie and he kinda looks like Brad Pitt? Well, not so much in this case because he's not that handsome, but she looks like Angelina Jolie. I don't know. It seems funny that they both look like that couple in real life. Maybe the designers were thinking of them when they made these characters. But okay, that's not related to the point. Today we're gonna be talking about present perfect continuous. Okay, and we're gonna be seeing that it's gonna be really really easy. And as always, I have some other material for this. Well, so if you remember present perfect tense, this will be really easy to understand, okay? Because it's kind of similar. It has some differences, but you will see they are not so hard to understand. Basically, when we had the present perfect tense, we used to say, for example, let's say like this: the kids have played for 2 hours. We used the verb have or has, depending if it's he, she, or it. And we use the past participle of the verbs. Now, for present perfect continuous, what we do is that at the same time we start with the subject, then we use have or has, depending if it's he, she, or it. But then we put been, she, or she has been, they have been, and then the verb in ing. So basically, it's the same, but using been and the verb in ing instead of the past participle. And that's how you make the present perfect continuous. But then it is the structure is the same for is as the present perfect tense. It's just adding been and the verb in ing, and that's it. For example, they have been learning English for 2 years. She has been jumping on the rope for 3 hours. He has been I don't know. He has been cooking for 2 hours now. Okay, you can use it in different ways. For the negative, it is the same. That after the have or has, you need to put not. Then you can use haven't or hasn't. Both of them are correct. They have not been learning English for 2 years. She has not been studying as much as before. She hasn't or he hasn't worked since Monday. They haven't been eating, I don't know, cake in years. You can use it in multiple ways. And for the questions, we start with have or has, then the subject, and then being plus ing, and the verb in ing. It's really, really simple. Have they been learning English for 2 years? Have she been studying for 2 hours? You can use multiple examples. The structure is really easy. The subject, have or has, the same as present perfect, then being, and the verb in ing. That is it. Okay, but when do we use present perfect continuous now? Well, we can use it for different things. You can use it to express long actions that started in the past and continue until now. So basically, something started happening way in the past, but it's happening still now. For example, I've been living in Ireland for almost 4 years. So 4 years ago, I started living in Ireland, but I'm still living it right now. We can use the present perfect continuous to express recent actions that have clear evidence of results now. For example, her eyes are red because she has been crying all evening. We're saying what is the evidence or the results now of the actions in the past. That's another way to use the present perfect continuous. And another one is that it's typically used for shorter, more temporary actions. Things that are gonna be short, not so long. Have they been learning English this week? That is another example. And let's see the differences that we have with the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. With present perfect, we talk about finished actions. It's something that started in the past and it finished. Okay? The kids have played for 2 hours since this is finished. But then, with the present perfect continuous, it is not finished. We're still going with it. The kids have been playing since morning. Okay? So they started playing in the morning, but they are continuing now. But when we say the kids have played for 2 hours, 2 hours is the time that it finished. Okay? We use present perfect for permanent actions. These things that are gonna be permanent, no other changes. I have taught English for 12 years. After you taught English for 12 years, you cannot change that. You can add more years, but you cannot say, okay, no, I only taught for 10. No, you cannot change that. It's permanent. But then you can use present perfect continuous to talk about temporary actions. I have been teaching this class for 1 hour. This have happened for 1 hour. For example, I have been teaching in this video for 8 minutes or 9 minutes. We use the present perfect to have an emphasis on the result of the action. The important thing was the result. He has repaired the car. That is a result, and that is the important thing. But we use the present perfect continuous to have an emphasis on the duration of the action, how much time we spent doing something. He has been repairing the car for 2 hours. Okay, so important thing here is that he repaired it. But important thing here is that he have been taking 2 hours for that. We can use the present perfect to indicate how much or how many have been completed. It has taken 6 years to write this book. This is the amount of time that it have taken. Okay? But with the present perfect continuous, we use it to indicate how long something has been happening. I have been studying English for 2 months. Okay? So basically with the present perfect, we use an amount of time, and with the present perfect continuous, we use it for length of time. Very good. Okay, let's see some other examples. We use the present perfect for actions in the past which have a connection to the present. The time when this action happened, it is not important. Okay? So in the present perfect, something happened in the past, but it affects now in the present. We use the present perfect for recently completed actions. It's something that happened in the past, but really, recently, and it affects the present now. We use the present perfect for action beginning in the past and is still continuing. Okay? So we can use the present perfect to something that started in the past and it continued until now. And now it's different. But with the present perfect continuous, this tense is used to emphasize the duration of an action that was completed before another action or event in the past. So with this, we're focusing on how much time we have been doing something. I had been driving, and she found the right office. Okay, she had been driving around the city for 3 hours before she finally found the right office. So we're focusing on the amount of time that have taken for it to happen. That it's basically the differences. Okay, now we can go to the book. Now this will be really, really easy because we already know all the things with the grammar. So this is gonna be easy. We use the present perfect continuous for actions that start in the past and continue into the present. Is it? Really simple. What have you been doing lately? I've been working 2 jobs for the last 6 months. So we started 6 months back and now we're continuing to do it. How long have you been trying? I've been trying since I graduated. Have you been saving money? No, I haven't been saving money. I have been uh No, I haven't been saving money. I've been spending it. Okay? Very good. I hope that you understand this now. It is something that has its things, but it's kind of easy. You can get to understand it. But to practice, let's complete this exercise. We're going to complete the conversations with present perfect continuous, okay? So take your time to complete this, and then we're going to check. Okay, you finished? Let's check. Okay, number one. Have you been learning any new skills this year? Yes, I have. I've been taking some art courses. Number two. What have you been doing lately? Well, I've been looking for a new job. How have you been feeling recently? Great. I've been running 3 times a week, and I haven't been drinking as much coffee since I stopped working at the coffee shop. Very good for you. Number four, have you been getting enough exercise lately? No, I haven't. I've been studying a lot for a big exam. Okay? If you have those answers, very good. Very good. Okay, now let's continue to this part. It's a pronunciation, something that is really important, the pronunciation. Okay? Contrastive stress in responses. Okay, interesting. We're gonna listen and practice. We're gonna notice how this stress changes to emphasize a contrast when we're comparing two different things. We're showing what is different in one of the other. We use that in the pronunciation to make it more obvious or make it notice that there is a contrast. Okay, so Let's listen.
Page 82. Exercise 9. Pronunciation. Contrastive stress in responses. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice how the stress changes to emphasize a contrast.
Has your brother been studying German?
No, I've been studying German.
Have you been teaching French?
No, I've been studying French.
Okay, very good. Did you notice? It's like people say something or ask something, and in order to make them clear for them what is actually happening, you change your stress in the response. For example, like has your brother been studying German? No, I have been studying German, not my brother. I. So you make more. You put a stress on I've. Have you been teaching French? No, I've been studying French. So it's not that I'm teaching, I'm studying. And we stress it more so we can see the contrast, okay? It's really easy and it's something that we do naturally when we talk. So I think that it will be easy for you to use this, okay? Now let's do this second exercise. You're going to be marking the stress changes in these conversations, okay? So they change the stress in a part of these conversations. So listen and then mark it. Okay, so let's listen.
Page 82. Exercise 9. Part B. Mark the stress changes in these conversations. Listen and check. Then practice the conversations.
Have you been studying for 10 years?
No, I've been studying for 2 years.
Have you been studying at school?
No, I've been studying at home.
Okay, very good. Remember, if you need to listen again, just go back. But did you get the answers? Let's check. Well, have you been studying for 10 years? No, I've been studying for 2 years. 2. Have you been studying at school? No, I've been studying at home. Those are the two contrasts. If you have those, very good. You are correct. Okay, now let's go for the last thing for today. And as always, at the end of the unit, we have a reading. Okay, breaking down the sound of silence. Really interesting. Okay, so you can stop the video here to read this part. And now this part here. You can also finish reading by stopping the video right here. And now, after reading this story about this deaf band, let's complete this exercise here. Okay, after reading the article, choose the correct words in the sentences below. Okay, so take your time to complete this, and also take your time to complete this to answer these questions. And now, if you finish, let's check the answers for both of them. Well, after going deaf, Beethoven continued to compose music. The voice knew music was powerful because of something they saw. Many people didn't understand the boy's ambition to play music. Hiddleman's parents didn't want him to learn to play at first. 3 young men started playing together before finishing college. If you have those answers, very good. And now the second part. Okay, which band inspired the 3 boys to play music? The Beatles. What did Longo and Chevy use to hear some parts of the music? Headphones and powerful hearing aids. What did Hiddleman use to make noise in his house? Knives and forks. Where did the 3 men get to know each other? At college in Washington, D.C. When did Beethoven's Nightmare start playing? In 2001. Okay? Very good. If you have those answers, very good. Okay? That has been everything for this class. I hope that you liked it. And on the next class, we're going to be starting with the Unit 13. So
I hope that you look forward for it. But that's everything for today, so see you on the next time. Bye!